Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Online Classroom. Today we are going to discuss about the C loops. So basically we are going to start about the for loops. So before going to start of the loops, at first the first question comes, why we have to use loops? The loop simplifies the complex programs into the easy ones. It enables us to alter the flow of the program so that instead of writing the same code again and again, we can repeat the same code for a finite number of times. For example, if we need to print the first 10 natural numbers, then instead of using the printf statement 10 times, we can print inside a loop which runs up to 10 iterations, right? Now, the second question comes in our mind, the advantages of loops. Means why we have to use the advantage. So first one is that it provides the code reusability. This is very important. Second one, using the loops, we do not need to write the same code again and again. Third one is that using the loops, we can traverse the order of the elements of data structures like array or linked list. Again, the next question comes in our mind, the types of loops in C programming. The first one is that there is the for loop, second while loop, third one is the do while loop. So in today we are going to discuss about the for loop. So let's start. So before going to the details programming, at first we have to know the flowchart of the for loop. The first one is the iteration, second one is the statement, the condition, third one is the statement, increment or decrement. So it means with the flowchart, if we consider the syntax, then I think it will be very easy to understand. The inside a for loop, there is the first one is that is the expression 1. So it means it is nothing but the initialization. Now the second one is that expression 2. So it is nothing but the condition. Third one is that the expression 3. It is nothing but the increment or decrement. So between this, there is a code to be executed. It is nothing but the statement inside the for loop. Right? So if we want to see a simple programming, so first one is that it is the main function, right? So after that there is a int I equals to 0. Okay, no, at the first time suppose the value of I equals to 0. Now suppose in the expression 1 I write I equals to 1. So it means we initialize I, the value of I at the first time it is 1. Second expression is that I less or equals to 10. So it is nothing but the condition checking, right? So value of I must be less or equals to 10. And third one is that I plus plus, right? So it is increment, or we may decrement also, right? If we want to decrement, and the expression 1 must be starting with the 10, value of I greater or equals to 1, and I minus minus if we want to decrement it, right? Now inside it there is a printf statement and I just print the value of I, nothing else, right? Now if we run this code, and I am using the online compiler for this, okay, so let's check to run it. Okay, just I am simply copy paste this code in an online compiler, and if we run this code, and the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 10. Now the question arises, how it comes? So at the first time, value of I equals to 1, right? After that, there is a condition checking. It means 1 less than 10. It means the condition satisfied. So that's why it will enter the for loop. Now the first printf statement will work. So it means it will print 1. So the first one. Now again it will back to the for loop and increment of I means I plus plus. It means it will increment the value of I with 1. So it means it is nothing but now the new value of I, it is nothing but 2. Now again 2 less than 10, again the condition is satisfied, so that's why it will enter to the loop statement. So that's why now it will print the value of I as 2. So that's why the second 2. Like this, it will increment 1 by 1 and at the last time value of I will be 10. Now when the value of I will be 10, there is a equals to sign is that there, right? So value of I is equals to 10. So that's why again the condition is satisfied and it will again go to the printf statement inside and it will print the value of I as 10. Now after that again the value of I will be 11. Now 11 less than 10, no. 11 equals to 10, no, means the condition is false. So as the condition is false, this piece of code means what is inside the for loop will not work. So basically in this way we can run this code and in this way the for loop will work, right? Now again if we back to the PPT, the next part is that the first one is that there is another program actually. So here the number, suppose in the previous code the value of I will be 1, right? So we can write the another code using the taking input from the user. So here the code is that enter a number and %d number. Okay, so number is an integer type, right? And inside and the same thing, value of I equals to 1, I less than 10 and I plus plus, mean the same thing was there, but inside printf there is a simple operation. So number into I. So it means if your number is 10 at the first time, 10 into 1, right? Because the value of I at the first time is 1. So 10 into 1, it means it will print 10. After that, when the value of I will be 2, then the number will be 20 because 10 into 2, right? Like this way, it will go to the up to 100. So you can just write this code and try it yourself. Now there is another type of code is there. So what I told you, that is the expression 1 for the initialization, expression 2 for the condition checking, right? And expression 3 for the increment or decrement, right? So that is basically the structure of a for loop. But there is another opportunity, or we can write the for loop in another way. That is all that in the expression 1 we can initialize more than one variables, right? This also accepted by the for loop. It means in this code each and every variable in the previously, right? So but here the value of a, b, c, we can assign the value of a equals to 0, b equals to 12 suppose, and c equals to suppose 23, and both separated using a comma, right? And this also accepted by the for loop, and all threes as a expression 1, right? Now let's again, if we run this code again in the online compiler, so just wait, I'm simply copy paste the same code and paste it in an online compiler. If I run it, then in output will be 36, 35 and 36. Why? Because inside the printf statement I write a plus b plus c. So at the first time, value of a, what is the value of a at the first time? Value of a equals to 0, value of b is nothing but 12, and value of c is nothing but 23, right? So 0 plus 12 plus 23, it is nothing but 35. Now the condition is there, a less than 2. So it means as it is a less than 2, it means when the value of a equals to 0, 0 less than 2, yes, condition satisfied. So that's why it will print the first one 35. After that, again a plus plus will execute actually, and the new value of a is nothing but 1 now. Now in this case, the value of a will be 1, but value of b and c will remain same. So that's why it is nothing but 36, right? So 1 less than 2, it is 36. After that, again a will increment. Now the value of a equals to 2, right? And a less than 2 means that 2 less than 2, no. So that's why the condition is false. Now if we give equals to here, now if we press the run button again, so it is nothing but a 37, means one more number will come, right? So in that way, a for loop, what I want to mean that the for loop, using a for loop, we can, in the expression 1, we can assign more than one values, right? Now again, if we go back to the slide, okay, so there are so many options are there. Now the next option is this assignment, right? So in the expression 1, only semicolon is also accepted by the for loop, but the initialization should be before the for loop. So it means if we write int I equals to 1, so it means the value of I previously will be 1. And if we write only semicolon here, your compiler, compiler will automatically check if I is initialized previously or not. If it's initialized previously, then it will take the value of I as the same, means value of I here now 1. Now here at the first time the value of I will be 1 and the condition is 5, so that's why it will increment it up to 4, right? Because when the value of I equals to 5, as there is no equals to sign, so it will false, right? So now again, if we run the same code in the online compiler, then okay, so I'm just copy and paste it. Okay, that is the code, and if we press run button, look, 1 2 3 4 will be the output, right? So here in this case, the for loop also accept this type of condition also. Now if we again back to the slide, there are another option is there. There is another option is there. So this type of option is also there. So it means here the value of I equals to 0 at the first time, j equals to 0 at the first time, k equals to 0, also the value of k will be is 0. Here in my previous slide, I already told you that multiple initialization can be done, right? But here the multiple conditions are also supported by the for loops. Means the value of I will less or equals to 4, k less or equals to 8, and j less or equals to 10. This is also supported, but look, this is separated by the comma only, and this expression 1 is the semicolon. Now expression 2, there is also another semicolon, right? But here increment only is I, and I just increment the value of j with 2 and increment the value of k will be 3 with 3, right? So at the first time value of I equals to 0, and so here actually I print all the 3 numbers, right? So at the first time value of I is 0, right? And so that's why it will print 0. Value of k is also 0, value of j is also 0, right? So this is all are 0 at the first time. After that I is plus plus, means I is incremented only 1 times, but j with the 2 and k with the 3. Now again, if I compile the same code, so just wait, copy paste the same code, and look what is your output. At the first time the value of I is 0 and j is also 0 and k is also 0, but after that I is incremented only 1 times, right? So 1 2 3 4, this 1 2 3 and 4 means this is the first column for I, right? And for j it will incremented by 2, so that's why second column for j 0 2 4 6 8, and the k is incremented with 3, so that's why 0 3 6 9 and 12, right? Now Again, if we back to the slide, there are so many other options are there also. Now that is called the infinite for loop. Now, if infinite for loop, it means if we want to write or if you want to print or if you want to do some operation infinite times, we can write infinite for loops. But there are two ways to write infinite for loops. That is, the first way is that when the value of I equals to 0, but condition there is nothing is there, right? Means it is infinite times, and I will also increment. Means so there is no condition how many times I will increment. So that is one for infinite for loop. Again, if we run this code, you can check, we can check it. Just okay, I'm just simply copy and paste it. Okay, fine. And if we press the run button, look, this is infinite times. So as it is a infinite times infinite code actually, infinite for loop, so we have to stop it, because, right? So now there are another way to write the infinite for loop. That is, the second way is this. It means inside this for loop there is only the semicolons and nothing is there. So again, if we run this code, this is also accepted. This is also accepted by the for loop, right? So I'm just again copy paste, and if I press run button, and this high keyword will print infinite times. So in that both way we can write the infinite for loops, right? Now another question is there. So for each and every for loop, you can see that after that there is nothing, means there is no semicolon is there. Semicolon basically that is the end of line. In this for loop, each and every for loop, there is no question of semicolon. But the problem is that if we give semicolon after the for loop, it means if we run this code, then what happened? So here basically the value of I equals to 1, I less or equals to 10 and I plus plus, but the problem is that there is a semicolon is there after a for loop. Means the question is, is it correct, or is there any compilation error, or what? Or if it is correct, then what will be your output, right? So try this code with in your just compile it and just give me the output in the comment of the video, right? So in the next lecture we will discuss about the nested for loops, right? So thank you for hearing me, thank you for your time, thank you once again.